Hey, yo, what is going on, everybody? It is Chris from Subs Gaming coming at you with a different kind of video today. So I know this is a little bit different. We're inside my car here. I'm wearing my fire gear. It's a little bit different. We're not playing video games. So this is a brand new series that I'm starting out, and I wanted to bring you guys along with the journey. So you might be asking yourselves, what is this new series? What's going on? First, why are we in Chris's car? As you can see, it's a giant mess, but you know, hey. So the new series is a workout journey. So I will be the first to admit I'm not in the greatest shape. And you know, with me being a volunteer fireman, it's very important for me to stay in physical shape, to be able to save people and be able to get in there and support people and all that other kind of stuff as well. So this series is going to be focused on my workout journey. You know, one thing I am going to ask is that the comments stay positive. You know, I'm not an expert in working out. I'm kind of going off what other people are telling me to do. I know today we're at the fire station. It's in the background there. I'm going to grab some of my gear and we're going to be doing kind of a ruck march. For those of you who are not familiar with the military, a ruck march is where people in the military would usually wear a heavy backpack, or a rucksack as they're called, and they would march for miles. I'm not in the military. I don't have a rucksack, but I do have an oxygen tank that goes on my back for fire calls that weighs about 40 pounds. So I'm going to be grabbing one of those. We're going to be heading down to the track, and we're going to be running some laps, walking some laps, maybe getting some jogging in as well. To be honest, I don't know how long this series is going to go on for. I don't know how much I'm going to record. I just thought, let's bring you guys along for the journey. I absolutely love making content, as you guys know. And sorry if I kind of sound all stuffed up and all that kind of too. I'm getting over, you know, having a cold and all that kind of stuff. But I love making content, and I feel like, to me, that's gonna be a good motivation for me to work out, is because I can bring you guys along with the journey. I could be able to measure myself and see what I'm doing and how I've been doing. So, and I'm also open to tips. If any of you in the comments would like to leave some helpful and kind tips, whether that's workout tips, things I could eat, dieting, all that kind of stuff, I'm open to anything. I'm also open to any kind of feedback. So with that, we're gonna get in the fire station. I'm gonna grab my gear, and I'll meet you guys down at the track. All right, and as you guys just saw from the video there, we have arrived at the track. I got my gear. I don't know how well you guys can see that. Oh, you guys can't see that at all. Well, there's an oxygen tank back there. Oh, here, baby. Aha! We got the oxygen tank right there. It's a 4,000 PSI, in case anybody was wondering if I could find the button there. I do have all my fire gear with me. Actually, here, I will spin around and show you guys that. Let's go ahead and hop out of the car here. Make sure I got my phone, of course. So, as I said, this is going to be my first time, well, first off, doing a ruck march to begin with. So, I ask everyone, you know, please bear with me here. I don't know how many laps I'm going to do, just because, of course, fire gear, we're made to go into it. I don't know how you guys can see me, for a couple hours, of course. But running laps with the fire gear, I'm not too familiar with doing that, so we're going to see how much my body can take when doing it. I'm going to try to go for at least 1 mile. We'll see what happens though. So as you guys can see in here, we got my fire pants, we got the coat. I didn't bring the helmet. I didn't really think I needed the helmet. We got my hood, of course, just because it is really chilly out. Actually, it's like 43 degrees out right now. Oh, my hood is stuck. Okay, well, I'll get that unstuck off camera. Yeah, so I'll let you guys know when I'm all suited up, and then we'll begin. All right, so as you guys can see here, I got my hood on just because of how cold it is. I got my fire jacket on. I got the fire pants on as well. We're gonna grab the pack out of there just in a second and get it on. I don't know how well you guys can see. I'm gonna try the nightlight mode on the GoPro, and we'll see how that goes. All right, let's go ahead and grab this out of here. Throw this on. So yeah, I couldn't figure out the nighttime mode on the GoPro, so either I'll try and figure out for the next video on how to do it. I know, professional YouTuber, right guys? Or I will try to get out here during the daytime. The reason why I don't like getting out here in the daytime is, number one, it's you know, the temperature is up more. So, oh, hang on. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. My pass alarm was caught on my upper strap, so yeah, we are almost ready to go. It is actually a lot colder than I thought, so we are going to grab the fire gloves, of course. Now, full disclaimer, my gear is washed. Obviously, if my gear was dirty, I would not suggest doing this because of the, cancer and all that is on the gear from being in a fire and stuff. My gear is clean. I cleaned it and washed it thoroughly a couple days ago. So, and of course, with us being a volunteer department, we don't see as many calls. I can't get in that way. So I think, if I remember correctly from my high school track days, there should be an entrance over here that does not have that type of gate. The real question is if it is still unlocked. It is. All right. So we're gonna go in here. Gotta walk uphill a little bit. And here we are. I don't know how much you guys can see, obviously. This video is kind of going to be a work in progress, obviously. This is kind of like my first attempt. I don't know if you guys can even see the lines down there. It's gonna be my first attempt just to see if I even want to do this type of series. I mean, obviously I'm still gonna work out, of course, but it's whether or not this series, if I like how it's turning out, if I like how the recording's being done, all that kind of stuff. You guys can see actually our track is right next to the train tracks. It's right over there. So did I shut my trunk? I did shut my trunk. We're good. So yeah. So I guess I'll give you guys a little bit of an update about what I've been up to. As many of you guys know, the Wild Prison Network, I kind of separated from them a little bit. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely loved recording and making videos on their server. I just got bored of it pretty much. When you play the same video game week after week, oh, that's pretty cool. It's your train side by side. When you play the same video game week after week, it kind of gets boring after a while. So what I needed a break from it, and I also meant stepping away from YouTube. As many of you know, I became a volunteer fireman, and I'm actually fully certified now, and I'm also becoming an EMT. I am in class becoming EMT basic through National Registry, so that's been taking up a lot of my time. And with that, I just haven't really had time to make YouTube videos as much. So I appreciate, all my fans that have stuck around. I know the channel has kind of been all over the place with what it's been. It's been rebranded a couple times. It went from kind of a vlog channel to a gaming channel, like Second Monitor content, where I just post my streams, to fire and train related stuff when I was a fan of that kind of stuff. And then it went back to gaming, then it went to Twitch live streams, and well, now it's kind of an everything. So you guys are going to notice that the Subs Clan channel is going to become like a general purpose channel for me. You might see some vlogs like this, the workout vlogs. You might see some fire videos, whether that's like me responding from my house to a call, because I know people like that kind of stuff. They like seeing, volunteer firemen respond and stuff like that. So oh hey, that's a DPU, distributed power unit. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so you're gonna see a little bit of everything there. It's games and stuff like that too. So, but with that, I think I'm gonna hit some more laps here. So I will talk to you guys whenever I can, and then I'll talk whenever I can, and I'll bring you guys back, and hopefully you can just enjoy the music. Now I know you guys are all probably wondering, you know, why now exactly? You know, why am I deciding to get in shape? What changed? I know, and you know, I'm asking, you know, I'm gonna go into a little bit of a personal story here. If you guys don't want to hear it, which I completely understand, because it is a little bit depressing, you can skip ahead in the video. I won't judge you. I just ask that, you know, everyone keep their comments, you know, respectful and polite, because, you know, at the end of the day, I am trying, and, you know, my goal is to even just lose a couple pounds. So so the story's going to start now, so if you didn't want to hear it, you could go ahead and skip ahead. Otherwise, you're going to hear the story. So I've always been a bigger kid. Growing up, I absolutely loved food, as most people do. I never really ate the healthiest. I will say myself, I am a pretty picky eater. I don't like a lot of fruits and vegetables. I don't like a lot of things that are good for me. I love eating fast food, and I would just not really work out. I worked out in high school. I did weightlifting. I was pretty good at it, but that's when it was required, because I took it as a class, so it was a grade, so it was required. And being overweight, even as of right now, has put a lot of limitations on me. As many of you know, I absolutely love police and everything related to that. I'm hoping potentially, once I lose all of this weight and get more into shape, to go into the police academy. I'm not really hoping to be a full-time police officer, you know, maybe just like a part-timer reserved somewhere, you know, be able to serve my community more. And that's the dream. And of course, to be in better shape can mean I could do a lot more things. Hanging out with my little sister. If any of you guys follow my other social medias, you'll see I absolutely love hanging out with my little sister, being her big brother, you know, the firefighter figure in her life. And with me being on the overweight side, I get tired easier, you know, and that's another motivation. And the biggest motivation to me wanting to get in shape is my self-confidence, you know. You know, I want to be able to look in the mirror and be happy with my body, and I understand that, you know, we should be happy with our bodies no matter what, because, you know, that's the way it should be. But and I am, I will say, I don't give myself too much hate for being overweight, and sorry guys, but yeah, I don't give myself too much grief for being overweight, but it's just motivation, you know. It would be nice to fit into a smaller pair of jeans, maybe go down a belt size or two, go down a shirt size. Those are all kind of the dreams And I would say the biggest thing of this workout journey is not going to be the working out itself. It's going to be the dieting. I will be completely honest with everyone. You may laugh, of course. I go to McDonald's at least once a day, and I will say there's no excuse for it. And you may be asking, what's the reason I do it? And it's just because it's convenient. You know, I work a lot. I work a full-time job at a factory where I work in safety. And then, you know, being a volunteer fireman, I'm going to trainings for that, going to calls for that. And I'm in class, becoming an EMT. So I go to class twice a week, and then I'm studying and doing stuff online. So, and then also I don't know how to cook, which I know is a big thing. Maybe we'll do some cooking tutorials during this series as well. Maybe so I can teach myself how to meal prep and stuff. You know, we might do that. If anyone's got any good meal prep recipes, anything that's like chicken related, chicken or beef, if anyone's got any recipes, please share them in the comments below. And, you know, maybe we'll cook one of those recipes in a future video, and, well, maybe possibly burn down my kitchen in the process. Yeah, so I would say that's the biggest motivation, is just being able to lose weight, and also just be able to talk to you guys. I mean, you know, the fact that I'm here right now walking around a track, being able to talk to you guys. And of course, these first couple videos are going to be unscripted, of course. As the videos grow in popularity and more comments come in, and I'm able to, you know, write down comments and be able to respond to them in the videos, they'll get more interesting. And I will say, as I've always told people, I'm not a professional editor, but, you know, I'm going to give the editing on this video my best shot. Maybe we'll throw in some time lapses with some music if I can figure out how to. So I will say, if the camera angle is kind of weird and all that, just cut me some slack. You know, I know some people are going to ask what kind of gear I'm using. I am using a GoPro Hero 11 Black. It's being loaned to me by the TV station that you guys know that I volunteer for. So shout out to Hicks TV on YouTube. It's HIX-TV. They're the ones loaning me the GoPro and all the accessories to be able to bring you guys these videos. Maybe eventually, if the series pops off, I'll be able to get my own GoPro. That'd be kind of the dream. So, and then I have a 2025 MacBook Air M4 with the M4 chip, 16 gigabytes of RAM. That's what I use for my editing. I usually just like to throw it up on my TV, you know, use a wireless keyboard and stuff. So that's the stuff I'm using right now. Yeah, so let's get back to the walking here, and I'll have you guys enjoy this time lapse, maybe, if I can figure out how to edit one in. If not, I'll just throw some music over me doing another lap. we can see up there, I don't know if you guys can see it, glide flight helicopter. That's pretty cool, flying above us. I don't know how well you guys can see it or not, but yeah, so well, you guys can probably definitely hear it. So you guys might be asking as well, what is the goal? Well, I mean, I already talked about what the goal is, but what is the future of this series? Well, oh, hang on a minute, guys. Is that a cop? I don't know the hours of the track. I assume I'm allowed to be here. Uh-oh. Well, everyone, I think I'm about ready to get talked to. Alright, well, I'm going to turn off the video and then I'll be right back with you guys. Alright, everybody, I am back. That's actually kind of funny. That was not a cop. It was my lieutenant on the fire department. So he's been a great motivation for me to work out. He had to get something out of the nearby building, so he said 6 more laps is what he requested, so maybe we'll do 6 more. I think that's what we're about at right now, is lap 6. I kind of lost track, but yeah, going back to what I was talking about is the future of this. With it getting colder out, of course, we might keep doing these ruck marches. I do have a couple ideas. Obviously, see me go around in circles on a track is probably really boring for you guys, so there is a couple trails in the area. We might go ruck march around those with the fire gear. Obviously, you know, wearing all my fire gear in public, I have to get permission, obviously, just so no one panics and wonders what's going on with a fireman walking around a trail and all of his gear. But I'll look for permission for that, and then what I'm hoping is to be able to save up some money and get some dumbbells, get some weightlifting equipment, and put it in my garage, and maybe turn my garage into a little workout area. I would love to get back into weightlifting. I absolutely loved it when I was in high school. Now you guys may be asking, why don't you go to a gym? The first thing is, I have really bad anxiety, so in working out in front of other people, I don't necessarily like doing that. I always feel like they're kind of judging my technique and stuff, which I know they're not. I would much rather like to work out in a private setting. I know, like, you know, oh man, he has his own private gym, you know, it's something like that. If I could even just have a little cheap bench with, you know, $200 dumbbell rack on there, I'd be happy with that. I know weights are pretty expensive, especially brand new ones, but hey, if any company would like to send me some weights, I wouldn't complain. But yeah, or even Facebook Marketplace, I've been looking on there for some good weights. Yeah, there's some good cheap ones on there. You guys can see in the distance. Yeah, that's my lieutenant on the fire department pulling away. He had to get some out of the pavilion that's right there. So yeah, really nice guy. He's actually one of the big motivators for me to work out. He cares a lot about me. He's a really great guy, and if I can convince him to, because he's offered to work out with me, but I don't know if he's okay with being on camera or not. If I can convince him to, I'll try and see if I can get him in on one of the videos. You guys might know Drew from Bits and Bytes. If you guys didn't know, I'm a member of Bits and Bytes as well. You can check them out on YouTube. It's pretty much 5 of us nerds, computer geeks got together, and we run a podcast, online forums, and a blog about technology and stuff. I traveled down to Columbus and we did a video on Aura radios Drew's on the fire department with me. He likes working out with me too. So, and of course we did a video with him and Bits and Bytes, so he's of course being okay on camera. So we might see if he would like to join us for a video. But if you guys got any suggestions for the type of workout videos you'd like to see too, let me know. If you guys just like seeing these jogging videos where I just jog around someplace and walk and talk, that's fine. If you guys want to see weightlifting videos, if it gets near the summer, maybe I'll break out my bicycle and we'll do that. Just let me know. You know, this series, I'm very open to ideas on what I want to do, whether that's, you know, biking, or, you know, lifting weights, swimming. I can't swim, but I do like the float. So, and even if that's traveling around, I mean, you know, in my little town here, we have a couple trails, but I wouldn't be opposed to driving upwards of an hour and a half away to a place to do some jogging, ruck marching. You know, I wouldn't be opposed to that. Maybe I wouldn't bring all the fire gear, but I could always get like a weighted vest or a weighted backpack to kind of resemble the gear I'm wearing right now, of course. Yeah, so I'm probably gonna do one more lap. Yeah, I've kind of lost track. I know we're at least at a mile. We might be in that 1.5 mile area right now. So, and you guys can kind of tell I'm getting kind of winded. You know, this might, I will say, this is my first time working out in a while. And for those of you that are not in the fire service, fireman's gear weighs a lot. The air pack usually weighs upwards of 30 to 40 pounds full, and it is full right now. I have the pants, the boots, the coat, the suspenders, all that kind of stuff too, my gloves, my hood. So I don't know the exact weight on it. I think I remember correctly, it's like 60, 70 pounds. So of course, walking 1.5 miles with 60, 70 pounds when you haven't worked out in a while. So with that, I'll let you guys go back to the music, and I'll talk to you guys when we're finished up and on our way back to the station. All right, so we are back to the car. So we're gonna start packing up the gear. Yeah, so I'm feeling pretty good. I know it sounds like I'm out of breath, because I am. As I said, it's been a while since I have worked out. So I think we did pretty good today. So I'm gonna get the rest of the gear off and into my car, and then I'll talk to you guys when we're back at the station. All right, guys, so I just got back in my car after putting up all my gear. Got some water, of course. I want to always end the videos with a clip like this where I'm going to talk about how I felt, because I always feel it's important to go back and talk about how I felt during the workout, how I think it went. For me not working out in a long time and you know, doing a ruck march, which I wasn't familiar with, I think the workout went very well. Of course, I'm sick still, so I cutting myself some slack there. I feel like I could have went a couple more rounds, but with it being the first workout and all, I didn't feel like going all out. And I know some of you might say you always should go all out on every workout, but with me, this being my first workout, me still being sick, I have work in the morning and all that kind of stuff. Not saying those are excuses, but you know, I think I did really good. I think I pushed myself, but I didn't want to push myself too far, because if you push yourself too far, in my opinion, you're gonna get burned out. Because if I, let's say if I, literally, go all out and then my legs are jelly, which they are now, but I'm saying like really jelly, or I can't walk and I'm sore for the next couple of days, then it's like, it kind of ruins the workout to me, because then it makes me hesitant because I don't want to go back through that every time I work out. So I think I felt really good though. I was watching back some of the footage. You guys can't see anything. I know when I started this video, it was very light out. It's only been an hour and a half since I started this video. As you can see, it's definitely wintertime because you can't see anything out there. I got all the lights on in my car just so you guys can be able to see me. So yeah, I'll try to turn the brightness up in editing. If not, it's just gonna be a dark video, I guess. And you know, I guess that's the way it's gonna be. So I appreciate you guys tagging along. As I said, this is the first episode. So if you guys would like to comment some support, sorry, I'm like freezing still. Support, you know, and I just ask everyone, if you're gonna watch these videos, just negative comments, just leave, pretty much. I understand I'm a bigger guy without being shamed on it, and I will say this: if there are any rude, fat phobic comments and all that, you'll just be removed. You know, me, I've worked in the media field for a long time. The comments don't do anything really to me, but there might be people watching this that see this as a motivation to work out themselves, and I want this to be a safe environment. So if anyone's thinking about posting rude comments, just don't, you know, turn that frown upside down. Maybe post something nice instead. But if not, you'll be removed. So it's as simple as that. But I want to end this video on a positive note. So thank you guys so much for coming along. Thank you for Hicks TV for giving me the GoPro to use. Thank you to my lieutenant who came by, cheered me on for a little bit there. And most of all, you know, thank you to all of you. So I will see you guys on the next video. If you guys would like to check out some of my other content, you can do those by clicking in the link, checking the link in the descriptions. Go check out Bits and Bytes, the podcast and forums I'm a part of. Go check out Hicks TV, of course. And most of all, I'll see you guys all later. Talk to you guys real soon. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.